Hey Pilates Party people, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. My name is Caroline, a certified Pilates and yoga instructor here in Christchurch, New Zealand. Today we have a full body reformer flow and we're working with some props and tools today. We have the ball as well as your Pilates box. Make sure that box is just off to the side, handy dandy, so we can pick it up later on in practice. And we have that Pilates ball, we'll keep it with us as we get this Pilates party started, setting up our reformer. Headrest is going to be lowered. That ball is going to come right in front of those shoulder rests. So just in that V of those shoulder rests, we have the foot bar lifted. And let's take a look under the hood, making sure you have the right springs to start off your practice. We have two levels today. Level 1 being one medium spring. Level 2 being one heavy spring. So level 1 being that one medium. Level 2 being that one heavy spring. Find what feels good to you. I know it seems quite light to start our footwork this way, but we have that Pilates ball and we're going to make sure that the lower part of our shoulder blades is going to land on that Pilates ball. So scoot the bum up towards the front of the carriage, melting down onto that ball. Make sure it's nice and comfy cozy in the middle of those shoulder blades. Hands crisscross applesauce behind the head. Thumbs down the neck space. Press the head into the hands into the head, and then we'll lift both those toes up onto the foot bar. So toes are wrapping around the foot bar, feet are hip width distance apart, heels then click together. As you exhale from here, we're going to press out with that chest lift. Heels are clicked together, zipping up the inner thighs. Inhale, fold back in, widen through the knees. Exhale, press those heels, zipping up the inner thighs. Now, even if you're on that medium spring, it might feel quite light. That is a-okay. We want to feel that we're in control of that carriage. We don't want to feel that the carriage is pressing away from us or we're scooting and grooving all over that carriage. We want to stay still and strong. Last two, feeling those inner thighs, starting to find a little bit of work, keeping the core connected. This last one will press away, parallel with the feet. So toes are going to be wrapped around the foot bar, heels are going to be hip width distance apart. Folding on back in to the stoppers. Exhale, press out, widen through those toes, press through the big toe mound, the pinky edge, pause here. Lifting that left leg to tabletop position, lift the heart a little bit closer towards that knee, soften back down onto the ball, tap the foot back down and fold back in. Let's do it on the other side. So as you exhale, press out, pause, lift the heart, soften, tap, and fold. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You can hear the shake in my exhale. Last one on either side. So we find that lift to tabletop. We find that chest lift. Soften back down. Tap the toes. Fold back in. Last one. All right, this time, press out. Same as you did before. Lift that knee. Opposite elbow to opposite knee. Feel that chest lift and rotate. Tap it back down and draw in. So we're finding those obliques now. Lift, lift, rotate, tap, tap, and melt in. Press up. Lift the leg, lift the chest, rotate the elbow. Last one. This time we find some pulses. So we're going to pause in that oblique twist and we're going to find those pulses. Lift, rotate, elbow to knee, tiny little pulses here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it back down. Oh my goodness. Hello, core. Let's do it on the other side. Just when we think it's over. Little pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whoo, spicy, fold it in. All right, team. Take those hands behind the thighs, an option here to change those springs. So if you would like, again, level 1 is the same. 1 medium spring, level 2 is that heavy spring. We're gonna take that ball just inside that headrest. So making sure it's just hanging out, facing towards your screen. We're gonna come on to your side body. So onto your side body here, making sure the spine stays nice and long. I like the medium spring here. It just feels a little bit better in my body. Make sure wherever you are, the hips can stay square and you're not pulling that strap when we get into that foot and strap. We're feeling like we can glide through. So pull the strap over that sole of the foot. When you're ready, keep that bottom knee nice and bent, almost as if you're seated into a chair. Now, different reformers are going to have different vibes to them. Sometimes that platform is quite close, and we don't want those toes to just get a little scratchy on that platform. So we're going to make sure that the heel is slightly lifted, the toes are slightly lifted. And when you're ready, that top leg is going to lift to tabletop position. So imagine you have a coffee cup from the hip, and then we have another coffee cup on the knee and that ankle. So they're all in one beautiful alignment. And then from here, we extend forward, reaching out in front of you. Fold it back into that tabletop without moving those coffee cups. And then press back behind you, pressing towards that foot bar, the heel in line with the spine. So we're back to tabletop to reset every time. And then we kick in front, letting the carriage move. Fold it back to tabletop. We kick it nice and long towards that foot bar, heel in line with that spine. So we keep going here. Inhale to reach. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale to press. Inhale. Really, really nice. So it's slower than we want it to be, especially as it starts to build into the hamstrings, into the glutes. Last one here. The good news and the bad news about this one is that it's not a long series. Good news. A little bit of bad news though. We have to do it on either side. That's all right. We'll get there. This time, as you reach out in front of you, we're going to keep the leg, the hip at hip height, the knee at hip height, the ankle at hip height, then little tiny pulses up 2 inches, down 2 inches. 5, 4, you got it. 3, 2, 1. Fold back in and then press nice and long behind you. Little 2 inch up, 2 inch down. Keep that heel in line with the spine. Make it harder for yourself because we're only here for 3. Last 2. And that last 1. Well done. Back to hip height we go. Fold in. Take that top knee down. Give yourself a little bit of massage on the glutes. And take that strapperoo back into that shoulder rest or that peg. All right, coming on to the other side. So, with or without that ball, making sure it doesn't fall. All right. Again, we're gonna have that spine nice and long, making sure those hips are nice and square, folding the knees, taking that top foot into the strap, sole of the foot lands, and then when you're ready, you're comfy, cozy, that bottom arm is wrapped around, the top hand is either wrapped around that shoulder rest or onto the hip. We're gonna take that top knee, that top ankle, and align it with that hip. And then we're gonna kick out in front of you, fold into tabletop, kick all the way to that foot bar, the heel aligns with the spine. We fold it back into that tabletop, reach it out in front of you, fold it in, and press it back. Keep going here. Last 4. Your own time, your own pace. Let it start to burn. It will. Make sure you're still breaking down this movement. Finding that fold, checking into that hip height with the knee and the ankle. Next time you reach that leg out in front of you, we find those little pulses, 2 inches up, 2 inches down. The second side always hits a little different. So take your time, breathe through it. Keep those hips nice and square. Last 3, last 2, last 1. Fold to tabletop and then press out towards that foot bar. Those little pulses, 2 inches up, 2 inches down for 5, 4, 3, you got this, 2, and 1. Done and dusted. Fold it in. Take that strap. Take it onto the peg or the shoulder rest. Giving those glutes a little massage. Pressing all the way up. Take that ball off to the side and let's take our box. Nice and short box to start us off. Now this is where our springs start to change a little bit. We have some options. So pop your hood. Let's change those springs. Option is level 1 being 1 light spring or 1 yellow spring, 1 light. Level 2 is 1 upper light or light spring on the second tier of that reformer. So find what feels good to you. Level 1 is a light spring. Level 2 is that second tier or that second rod of pegs. That's your second option. If you don't have that, your second option will be that medium spring, and it is quite challenging here. We're doing an arm series. So find what feels good to you. Try it out both ways. Never hurts to try, but always being aware. All right, stepping 1 foot onto that headrest, knowing that carriage is going to move if we choose to rattle that spring. Hands on to the box, pressing up, and finding your way into a squat stance. So the soles of the feet are going to land 1 on the headrest, 1 onto the carriage. Knees are going to be out to the side. Toes, we're going to turn out. All right, once you're ready to rock and roll and you're in a nice, comfortable-ish seat, option here with the straps, short loop is going to have a little bit more tension. Long loop, less tension. So find what strap feels good to you and let's take it Lady Liberty style. So that elbow and the shoulder are going to be in alignment here. The hand is close to the face, but just in front of it. And then the other hand is on the hip. Keeping those hips nice and square, spine nice and long, shoulders nice and soft. As you exhale, drop the lowest rib down as you reach the arm up. Inhale, soften back down. So feel that exhale, hug and knit those ribs together and drop the lowest rib. Inhale. Last 2. Last 1. This time, we're gonna reach all the way up to the stars, fold in, then Lady Liberty becomes a little angry, so we're gonna clasp that hand into a fist. Elbow's gonna pop out to the side, up a little higher than those shoulders, soften the shoulders, and then we're gonna press, reaching over towards that foot bar. Wind it back, and punch. Last 4. The hips are nice and square. We're feeling that rotation from the mid-spine. 2. And that last one. Draw back in and all the way down. Whew. Short but punchy. All right, take those feet onto the headrest. We'll find that extension through. So taking the hands, 1 hand in each strap, short loop or long loop. I like the short loops here, just a little bit of a preference, even though it is a little bit more challenging. Sometimes it feels a little bit more engaging here in this workout. So those hands, because that box is right where it is, we'll have to widen it to account for that. So make sure as you exhale, the palms are facing back towards that foot bar. As you exhale, keep the spine nice and long, engage the core, and reach those hands back on either side of that box. Slide them past the box on the inhale or exhale, Press it back. I'm sorry, I'm messing up our breath. So here we go again. Exhale, engage the core. Inhale, reach it forward. One more time. It doesn't feel like much for now, but then we're gonna pause in that reach back. So press it back, reach, extend, pause, reach up through the crown of the head, look towards the left shoulder, back to center, and over the right shoulder, back to center, and draw forward. So again, pressing back, opposite time. So we're gonna look over that right shoulder, center, to left shoulder, center, and draw it back down. So instead of the shoulders hugging towards the earlobes, we're gonna soften them down and just have that nice little neural stretch or that nice little nerve stretch. Last one. Drawing back to center. Whew. All right. Now that we're all nice and warmed up, let's take that hand series or that strapped series into the hand on the other side. So find that squat. Make sure you're in a nice comfortable position. Second side always hits a little different. We know this one well. So we're gonna take that Lady Liberty. Again, the hand is just in front of the face. The elbow is pointing down. The fingertips are pointing right up to the ceiling. The shoulders are nice and soft, nice and square. And the spine is nice and long. As you exhale, drop the lowest rib towards the spine. Hug and knit the ribs together. Inhale, soften down. Exhale. Inhale. 5. All right, when you're ready, when you've completed those 5, clasp the hand into a punch, elbow up, shoulders down, rotate. Draw it back, wind it back, exhale. Last 5. Draw it back down. Take that strap down. Coming off of your box once again, this time changing it into a long box. Now, we're coming into all fours, finding a little bit of balance and finding that hand back in the strap. So now that we're all warmed up, we'll take that foot bar a little lower or all the way down. We just want it out of the way for us. I'm going to keep my spring load on a high light, so that second tier of that light spring. That is perfect for me. It keeps me steady and it keeps me balanced. If you want a little less to find into those arm sweeps back as we're in all fours, you're more than welcome to. It doesn't hold you as much on the carriage on that box. Alternatively, we have 3 levels on this one. Level 1 being that high yellow or high light spring. On that second tier, we have just that yellow or just that light spring. Third tier, we do have that blue spring or that medium spring. All right, find what feels good to you. And of course, those levels are very interchangeable depending on what you need on this box. So please have a play. It's always fun to have a play here, especially because you are at home, you have the time, you have the space. And this is a really nice place to just figure it out. All right. Gently, we're going to lift ourselves onto that box, into all fours. From here, scoot those knees further back than you anticipate. So we don't want those knees to be under the belly button. We want them under the hips. I like to scoot myself on to the side that I'm going to grab the strap on, making sure that the hands are just under the shoulders, knees are just under the hips. And when you're ready, grab a hold of the strap that you would like to on the side. So whatever side you've leaned more towards, that's the strap we're gonna hold. And it's so that we are about shoulder width distance apart, even as we have the strap off to the box, on the side of that box here. So grab the long loop or the short loop, and we know that the short loop holds a little bit more resistance, whereas that long loop holds a little less tension. All right. Pressing through those shoulders and pressing through the hands so that we're slightly doming through the upper back, hugging the lowest rib in and up, hugging the ribs together. As you exhale, press that strapped hand all the way to the hip. Inhale, drape it all the way down. Now you're checking out that balance here. Exhale, pressing equally through both knees and stabilizing through that hand. 2. Using that exhale, exhaling to press back. All right, by now you might have found that that heavier spring might feel good. It might also not feel good. That's okay. This is a really nice point to chop and change. We're gonna press back this time and then fold at the elbow. So elbow stays tight to the torso, just through the forearm. Press and fold. 3 more triceps. Press. 2. And 1. Press it back and then drape the arm down. All right, keep that strap in the hand, but just take the hand to the box, roll out the opposite wrist. That standing wrist has a lot to do, stabilizing. All right, make sure those knees are under the hips. We're in all fours, and then we'll take that strap back to the side. This time, we're going to press that hand back, that strap towards the hip, pause here, and then find your balance. Slowly start to lift the opposite leg nice and long behind you. Now, as you fold the arm back in, we fold the leg back in. Balance challenge. If it doesn't feel good, stick to what we were doing before. Press it back, reach the leg back, fold it in as you drape it down. Last one. All right. Take that strap back into the shoulder rest or that peg. We're gonna walk it on over to the other side, but first draw those knees just to the middle of that box. Maybe rock and roll those wrists. Last breath. Now we know the setup now. We have the springs that feel good, whether you'd like it to be a little higher, a little lower, somewhere in between. That's my sweet spot, and that's where I find it is actually easiest, is that in-between spot. But of course, you figured it out by now. Leave in the comments where you feel it best, where you feel the springs help and aid and make it complicated all at the same time, the best. All right, so we're in all fours. Again, those knees are a little bit back. We're gonna take that short or that long loop, knowing that tension varies. And then as you exhale, press it all the way to the hip and then inhale down. So we're checking on, is it equal weight through both knees? Are we hugging the lower abdominals in and up every time we exhale? And hugging the lowest rib in and up. Softly doming through the upper back. We have 3 more just here. This time, as you exhale, we have those triceps, so press it back, folding at the elbow. Press it back, hug the elbow up. Feeling that contraction, feeling that hug, that engagement. For 3, 2, and 1. Whew. All right, taking that hand to the front. Taking a moment just to wring it out that wrist. All right, now we're going to find a little bit more of a challenge if you want it. Same as on the other side, that challenge is to lift the opposite leg. So make sure those knees and those hips are in alignment. Those hands are just under the shoulders and we take that strap back down. All right, let's press the strap back first. And then at the end, we slowly start to find that balance, lift and extend. Folding back in, drape it down. You got it. Last 2. One side always feels a little bit more balancey than the other. It's just backs. Last one. Draw back in. And take that strap back down. Whew. All right, find that nice kneel in the middle or to the front of that carriage. Wring out those wrists. We're gonna keep that nice long box on the reformer. And if it feels good, keep that medium spring, or sorry, that in-between spring. So we want a high yellow, or that is also the high light spring. So find your high light spring. You can always add a little bit more if you would like, but we don't want it to be super, super heavy. We want to feel this more as a stretch. So come to the front of your box as those feet draw onto the headrest area. Take those short loops into the hands. And from here, we're going to slowly roll all the way down onto that box. So send the sit bones forward, reach the tail between the legs, and slowly melt down. Now, it's not gonna feel like you're having any help here, and that is a-okay. We don't want too much help here, because that means we have to pull it. So when you're ready, we're gonna reach those arms all the way up, drape the chest open, looking at that foot bar, those hands, and then slowly big circle sweep with those arms all the way around. As you nod the chin, slowly scoop, reaching all the way up into that seated position. And voila, we've started right at the top here. So again, we want to roll it down, scoop the tail, ripple down through the spine. Those arms are going to go straight up and over as you drape the chest. And then big circle sweep all the way around, nod the chin, scooping up through the lower abdominals, lifting yourself up. If you want a little bit of help here, you can always take it a little higher with that spring load. But knowing that we have to lift that entire spring load up and over the chest and all the way back, find what feels good. There's no right or wrong, and it's always nice to find your way into a space that feels good. Always explore. Last one, wherever you are. All right, well done. Let's take one more stretcheroo. So you can step right off into the well if it feels comfortable. Just stepping right in. I know it feels funky, almost feels illegal. All right, scoot that box just gently forward, just so it's away from the shoulder rests. Now we're going to dive forward, so let's step to the back of your reformer. We're gonna dive forward and end up with our hands on those shoulder rests. So take a nice inhale, reach those arms up. Almost like a diver here, we're going to jump off that bouncing board and dive right for those shoulder rests. Now when you're ready, we're gonna walk those feet just about 2 inches behind those hips. Roll off the heels onto the tippy toes, scoop the tail, and slowly ripple into that plank. If this feels good, staying in your plank. Otherwise, dip the hips, engage the glutes, shine the heart forward through the shoulders. Shoulders are soft. Nod the chin as you exhale, ripple back through the spine. Ripple all the way, draping the chest towards the tops of the thighs, heels land. Let's do that one more time. Roll onto the tippy toes, ripple through the spine, find your wave, plank or extension. Engage the glutes, soften the shoulders, broaden through the chest, nod the chin, and ripple all the way back. One more time on your own, find your way. Let it feel good. Finding your option. Melting all the way back. Take those hands along the rails so that you can walk back to a nice forward fold that feels good to you. Take the hands onto the inside of your frame. Head is nice and heavy, knees are nice and soft. You can bend into one knee, then the other. Maybe once or twice, maybe 3 times over. And then from here, we're gonna roll all the way back up. So soften through those knees, scoop the tail, and then slowly start to stack the pelvis on top of the thigh bones as you start to stack the spine. Vertebrae by vertebrae, we'll roll all the way up. Shoulders rock up, back and down. And you are done and dusted. Well done today, team. Let me know what you liked in the practice. Let me know what springs felt really good in practice, what you would like to see on your workouts. And thanks so much for joining. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.